Hi, my name is Dionne Woods. I'm the owner of the Turquoise Iris, and for this video, my special guest is my own husband, Matt Woods.
Hello.
We're going to share just a little bit of a story that really stands out with me. I don't know if it's a particular story, but this whole project is based on this vase right behind me. You can see that it's navy. It's made out of clay and it has a really pretty sun on it. It's not perfect, but it's a gift that Matt gave me in 1995 after our first year of dating.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. We're going to, I'm going to tell a little bit of that story, of our story, and I'm also going to show you how I want this project to turn into something so much more than just a vase. So let me just set the scene for you. 1995.
Long time ago.
Not like
far
long ago.
Far,
I mean, it's this century.
Galaxy.
It's not like, a couple of kids later now. But 1995, this one's a senior in high school. I've already graduated, and he's in art 2. Now, mind you, we met in art 1 the year before.
We met in computer lit.
I know, but those classes were back to back, and we walked together. So
yeah, we were actually in computer class, and then that was like 4th hour, and then we went to art class, which was 5th hour. So we met.
Well, that's because we talked more because we sat next to each other.
Right.
So 3 days into the class.
The first color I'm starting with is Gypsy Green. All of my paint colors are from DIY from Debbie's Design Diary. I'm just adding some branches, and then I'm splatter painting just a little bit, not too heavy.
I knew who he was. Our siblings actually knew each other. They were friends. But I knew who he was, and I walked up to the car with my girlfriends, and I said, that Matt Woods, I'm going to marry him someday. I'm going to marry him someday. So I did. In 1998, we were married. But this little jewel, we have packed and moved and packed and moved so many different times, but it's always stayed out, and it stayed kind of as an example of just some of the little things that Matt's done for me over the years. He likes to help me with things. He likes to do things. There were a time, but we didn't have any money.
Not a very good gift giver.
You are a good gift giver, and you make things, and you're very creative. But when you don't have any money and you're dating when you're 18 and 19, things like that are treasured. And I have treasured and I have saved every last thing that he has given me. I had boxes and we had notebooks that we would transfer back and forth. There was no texting, there were no phones. So we would write each other love notes in a notebook. I didn't have a pager. You did because, I don't know, you had more money or something. I never had a pager. I never even had my own phone line.
You used to page me, and then I'd have to go find a payphone.
I would page 911 as in, call me now before I get mad. Very patient with me. But
the next color is Bohemian Blue. That just adds a little bit of texture and kind of makes the vines look like they have different colors, and I'm splattering it just a little bit there as well.
This particular vase just kind of symbolizes the simplicity of how sometimes it's just the little things, right? Sometimes it's just the little things that are important. And Matt's always been really good about reminding me that it's the little things that count. So,
I made that my senior year.
You made that your senior year, and I had already graduated.
Yeah,
you
gave
were
it
in
to college.
Me. And do you remember why you gave me this, or do you remember why the colors or anything like that?
Well, because I knew you loved flowers.
Still do.
So I made the vase for the flowers, which makes sense, right?
And it was 1995, so what colors were big in decor? You know that home decor was a big thing in my life. Blue and yellows.
Well, you're probably giving me way too much credit for that, but I actually painted it. I did the flowers for a vase, right? And then I did...
And it was a grade. You had to do it.
Well, it was a grade. I had to do it, but I had her in mind, obviously. So I did the blue because of the sky, because the suns are typically in the sky.
Brilliant.
It's,
that was
hard to comprehend, really.
Right.
And then sun, because she hates being cold, she hates the winter, so what more way to be happy than being in the sunshine? So
the sun. Do you remember that our first bedding after we were married was blue and yellow?
Yes,
that was my thing. It was blue and yellow flowers. Yeah. You remember when the sunflowers were big and the cows and things? I had no cows or pigs.
We didn't have any cows.
But I did have lots of sunflowers
Do we
No,
have roosters?
no animals.
No roosters.
No animals. I love them, but I did never, ever decorated with them. But I've always loved this vase, you guys, and it sits currently. I was asked to do this video, and I'm so excited to be collaborating with all of these wonderful YouTubers.
Queen Bee is our yellow, and it's going to give almost like a sun glistened look, as if the sun were shining down and some of the petals or leaves are kind of picking it up. And then this here is just a kind of a skinnier added in type of yellow stem. And then, you know, we can't forget the sun. Don't make it too perfect, because this beautiful piece of pottery was not perfect. So I don't want to interpret it like it is. I love this sun. I'm not going to get it just perfect though. No need to.
But I look over at that vase and I'm like, I'm going to paint that. And it's going to represent simplicity, but 25 years later of being with my guy and how it's blossomed.
Well, it's funny because when she started talking about the project, you know, just telling a love story or telling a good story, a Valentine's Day story, whatever it was, she wanted to do that. So we started talking about it, and it just got us into the conversation of love and gifts and
we don't always celebrate Valentine's
moments
Day.
We don't.
Like life
We
happens. To be honest with you, 5 years ago, this Valentine's Day, we closed on this house, and it was our first night in the house, and we were so exhausted. There were no cards, there were no gifts, certainly, and I think we were mopping and scrubbing floors and trying to just get beds together.
Ready, yes.
So, I mean, what do you do? 25 years later, sometimes Valentine's Day is just a date, and I think we've learned to just always try to make every day a little bit of Valentine's Day, and so you do a little bit of a mental check. All right, does he understand exactly? Does he understand?
She says that a lot, mental check, right?
Okay, have I told him I love him or appreciate him? I'm actually the one that says that a lot. I'm kind of one of those, yeah, I love you, I love you, I love you, because I'm a words of affirmation type. That's how I show my love.
It's true, I agree.
I say it 14 times.
I'm the opposite, which is unfortunate, but I am opposite, where I show it more than
your love is acts of service. So you're willing to help me with anything, you're willing to do something for me, and that's how you show me your love. So the cards and the gifts, sometimes they happen and sometimes they don't. So that's why when I do receive a gift that was really from the heart, very thoughtful, from an 18-year-old boy, his senior year, it's been something that has obviously stayed with me and very special. And there's a lot of different gifts that I have that I've saved.
But there's not one, just that really stands out. And
a Valentine's Day or a gift?
Crinoline is my #1 favorite color to use when I'm working with flowers. It's the palest ivory yellow, and it really makes a good backdrop. So I'm just making several of those that are big, and I'm using kind of a mop brush for that. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my fan brush, and it's actually called our mascot, and I'm using Cowgirl Coral, and I'm just kind of layering, flowers end up having 5, 6, 7 different colors in there. So I'm adding a little bit of water. It helps the colors kind of muddle together a little bit, and I'm really wanting that. It's a little bit of a soft drip, and then I'm going to add a little bit more detail with my yellow, and I'm just going to kind of play with it with different brushes and kind of muddle the colors together to really just make a big, soft, almost like a peony flower. Remember, you really can't mess it up. Just get them to look like they're natural. They're all different.
Valentine's Day.
Oh no, I don't have a particular Valentine's Day that stands out other than, when you have kids and stuff, you want to make the kids have, I don't know. It's more about us making it every day and receiving and giving love, making it mutual, and realizing that it's just a date and that every day should be Valentine's Day. And you're my guy. And I think they need a closer look at this beautiful handiwork of yours. So will you grab it so we can bring it in a little closer? I mean, look at the autographed signature on the bottom as well, guys.
Check this out.
You killed it. I hope you got an A+ on this, babe.
It's almost, if I put a face on it, it's almost like a Medusa head with the snakes. The snakes coming out of her head.
I loved suns. I did. I loved the sunshine. Show the bottom.
So, it goes in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's really quick. It's hard to see.
A+, baby. 1995 up in here. So you've got 2 Dion.
Is it upside down?
Love me. Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
Got it.
2 Dion.
Look at my T.
love me. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
gee.
you got fancy with
I
that.
got fancy with this thing.
Guys, 25 years, we're still doing Valentine's together, and I can't think of anybody else, obviously, that I'd want to do it with. But I'm looking forward to this gift that you're giving me this year. What do you got planned?
I got a card.
No, you don't. You're lying.
I will have a card.
Well, you don't have anything yet.
I will.
Are you getting me something?
And once you have the fullness of your flowers all set up, I'm coming in with a little bit more of the queen bee again and just kind of putting a little bit in the center. And really, the next thing is just grabbing your greens and maybe the bohemian blue again and just add the leaves, almost like the leaves are cupping the flower. So I'm adding a little bit more on each side of the largest flowers. What really, really makes this bouquet, in my opinion, is the copper color that I made when I mixed DIY's Golden Ticket with a little bit of our Marquee Red. It makes the most beautiful copper. I love to use that in my bouquets and really highlight some of the softness and almost have a little bit of a drippy effect.
I'm giving you all my love. That's what I'm going to give.
He hasn't thought about it.
Every
Well,
day.
FYI, you have a week.
A week.
You have a week.
I got plenty of time.
And
I've already
honestly-
got it. It's right
Honestly,
here.
I'm pretty simple. I've never really asked for a whole lot of gifts.
It's true.
But, you know, I could use some help.
With the boys?
With anything.
Are you kidding? I spent an hour editing videos today on the computer
I know, and you're going to edit this
for
one too.
this girl right here.
I know you're awesome. Thank you.
This one.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
So everybody else, have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day, and I hope that you enjoyed this project. Again, the symbolism of it, it's a simple vase. We were young, we were simple.
Just
Over the years,
lasted
it's,
the test of time.
there it is.
It hasn't broken.
It keeps blooming.
Right.
I paint
Hasn't
flowers
broke.
because they continue to bloom and they never die.
Still colorful.
And let's just call that an example of our love together.
Yeah,
It never
it's a good
dies.
example. It's not broken, although it's been through some rough
It's
time.
had some dents, kinks.
It's had some, slips, falls.
You've always loved me.
But it's colorful, sun, it's bright,
He's happy.
happy. That it is.
All right. You guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day.